I think I had like 4 different people request this one, so this is the welcome home characters at the beach. Alright, whose idea was it to go to the beach? Hear me out. Eddie in swim trunks. Who stocks up on sunblock because they already know they or somebody else is gonna get horribly sunburned? Yeah, you learned this from the camping trip, didn't ya? Upon arriving at the beach, who immediately runs down to the water and goes swimming? I can see it. Who decides to go out and go surfing? Does he even know how to surf, though? That's my question. Who's exploring the beach looking for shells and or pretty stones? Again, I can see it. Who's treasure hunting with one of those handheld metal detector things? Why does this feel so canon? Who goes out to play beach volleyball? Oh, it is on. Who is Howdy playing against, though? That's my question. Oh, it's... I don't know if it's going to be much of a game. Who's on Howdy's team for beach volleyball? Oh, it is on. And who's on Poppy's team for beach volleyball? Oh, it is definitely on. You know, I have the strongest feeling she's the competitive type. Who's just chilling under a beach umbrella? Oh yeah, I can see it. Who decides to go sunbathing and work on their tan? Frank, I hope you applied sunscreen, otherwise we're gonna have a repeat of the camping incident. Alright, the moment of truth. Who gets sunburned really bad? I can see it. Oh, I'll hear you out, alright. The welcome home characters on a school bus. Alright, who's the school bus driver? Eddie. I think Eddie would make an awesome school bus driver, I'm not gonna lie. By the way, I'm 26. It's been 8 years since I've ridden a school bus, so I don't know if the information I'm going to be providing is relevant anymore. That being said, who stakes their claim of the little seat at the very back of the bus? You know she did. You know she sprinted down that aisle and immediately plopped into that seat. Who's the weirdo that prefers to sit at the very front of the bus? She likes to talk to Eddie, okay? This person gets on the bus and the first thing that they do is open a window. Why did I imagine him doing the doggy thing of just sticking his head out the window and panting? Who passes the time on the bus by reading? Oh my gosh, for once, it's not Frank. Who's trying to get a jump start on their homework on the bus? Howdy. I have no idea how that's going to go for you. Good luck, dude. Who's the person that's got their music on full blast? Howdy, I'm sure music helps you concentrate, but turn it down a little bit, please. Who's like me and is just spacing out until they reach their stop? Eddie, you're the bus driver. You might want to pay attention. And who's chatting with their bestie? You know, we haven't seen them yet, but you know Julie's chatting with Frank. Who's the person that wasn't paying attention and ends up missing their stop? I am not surprised. Who's the type of person that waits until they are at their bus stop to move to the front of the bus? Poppy, I mean no disrespect to you whatsoever, but you're the type of person that I hated while riding the bus. Who is just constantly getting yelled at by the bus driver? Poor Barnaby. And finally, who consumes food and drink on the bus even though they're really not supposed to? You are a total rebel. When I tell you, I started howling when I got this comment. You know, the ironic thing about these machines is that they're typically used for pain management and pain relief, but used for this specific purpose, they seem to have the opposite effect. And for the record, these things have a bunch of different levels to them. Like, I think the highest one that I saw had about like 40 to 45 levels to it. But I think for a period pain simulation, they usually keep it between a level 1 and a level 10. So that's the scale we're gonna go with. So, the Welcome Home cast trying a period pain simulator. I wasn't sure if I wanted to include all of the characters in this simply for the fact that they're all puppets, but for hilarity's sake, we're going with the guys. Poppy, however, gets an honorable mention, at least, because I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that she's a trans woman, so she tries the period pain simulator simply for the experience, so she has that knowledge. Okay, Wally had no idea that one of these devices even existed. He starts off laughing about it at first, but I'm pretty sure at about level 3 or level 4, he starts getting nervous. And I'm pretty sure by level 5, he taps out. Barnaby also did not know one of these machines actually existed. However, I think because he's one of the bigger characters in Welcome Home, he managed to last a lot longer, making it to about level 7 or level 8. Okay, Howdy is nervous. He's not the first one to volunteer himself for this experiment, but after seeing a couple other people go, he starts getting scared. Again, because he's one of the bigger characters in Welcome Home, he manages to make it a lot further than the others. So he makes it to about level 7 or level 8 before he officially taps out. Eddie's gone, okay? If Eddie did not pass out at some point during this experiment, then he started crying at about level 5 or level 6. Okay. Frank strikes me as the type of person that wouldn't even put themselves into this type of situation to begin with. However, I'm pretty sure they were coaxed into it by Julie. I'm pretty sure they have at least a couple of people in their corner to coach them through this, but Frank ultimately makes it to like level 6 before they officially tap out. And you know, there's a part of me that tells me that this was all Sally's idea and she's laughing her ass off the entire time. You know, it feels like I've had a few different people request this scenario, so these are the Welcome Home characters at a wedding. Alright, who's getting married? Oh, Frank. Who's Frank getting married to? I swear, if it's not Eddie. Yes! I don't think my simping ass is gonna make it through this TikTok. Who's the bridesmaid? Yes. Who's a groomsman? I mean, okay. Who's a flower girl? Why is this coming out too perfect? Who's the officiant that's going to certify this wedding? Howdy. Okay. Who's the wedding planner? I can see it. Who's in charge of the decorations? Okay, it's going to be a very flowery wedding. Who's in charge of music? Julie, you best not be doing everything for this wedding. Who's in charge of invitations? Julie, calm down. Who is a sobbing mess at the ceremony? Oh, poor Barnaby. Alright, confession time. Who's like me and is just trying to get through the ceremony so they can eat food at the reception? Honestly, Sally, I can see it. Who's the person that dares object to this union? I'm about to punt you over a fence. Sit down and shut up. And who's in charge of taking pictures? Oh my gosh, Julie. Are you okay? You need a break. Sit down and take a break. Okay, so I've gotten a lot of requests for a welcome home character scenario video with the characters at some sort of party. I think so far it's been a request for a pool party, a formal party, or some sort of high school dance, and a neighborhood party. So that's what we're gonna do, the welcome home characters at a neighborhood party, and we're gonna try to lump it all together. Who decides to throw a neighborhood party? I'm pretty sure she just wants to spend time with her friends. Who's in charge of invitations? He's a mailman, so... Okay, for me, a neighborhood party means grilling. Who's in charge of the grill? Oh, that's not good. Who's in charge of the beverages? Alright, I'm pretty sure he can provide something that he sells at his shop. And who's in charge of desserts? Well, I mean, he likes custard and foods that go in jello mold, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna have some fancy desserts. Okay, who's that person that brings potato salad with raisins in it? Of course you would, you little menace. Since it's practically summer, who decides to go down to the pool for a swim? Oh yeah, I can see it. And who decides to go down to the pool with Sally? Bring your arm floaties. Alright, in my family, a neighborhood party is not complete without a round of cornhole. Who breaks out the cornhole boards? Wally, are you sure you don't need any help? Because the cornhole boards I've come across are typically very heavy and are about as big as you are. Who's the first person of Team 2 for cornhole? Barnaby. Okay. Who's on Wally's team for cornhole? Julie? Oh yeah, I can see it. And who's on Barnaby's team for cornhole? Alright, so we've got the two tallest people in Welcome Home against two of the shortest people in Welcome Home. And who wins? Wally's team wins. Alright, good on you, Wally. And as things start to wind down, who decides to build a bonfire? Madame, what is your obsession with grills and fires today? I believe she is part chicken, that's why I'm concerned. You know, given the type of fan fiction I used to write, I am obligated to answer this question. I feel like someone has to sit down and explain the situation to Wally because I genuinely think he doesn't understand what's going on. Once he did understand what was going on, though, I think he would just be extremely excited for the fact that there's about to be a new neighbor. Julie's doing whatever she can to help. I mean, she's fetching blankets, towels, water, whatever that person needs. And while Julie is happy and excited that there is about to be a new neighbor, in the moment, depending on how much pain the person is experiencing, she's heavily concerned. Barnaby is concerned because he feels like there's not a whole heck of a lot he can do. However, because he's basically a gigantic emotional support dog, that's kind of the role that he fulfills. Something tells me the moment Sally finds out, this person will not know peace. She has questions. And something in me also says that she's that type of person that has a camera and is recording everything. 1, 2, 3, floor. Eddie passes out the moment the person starts pushing. Up until that point, though, he is good at being supportive and encouraging. Howdy also fetches supplies, and he also lets that person squeeze his hands if they need to. He is trying desperately not to pass out. Okay, surprisingly in my head, Poppy's not freaking out. As a matter of fact, she's being incredibly encouraging and supportive. However, whatever techniques she's using to keep that person calm and comfortable, she learned from watching television. Alright, we're talking about the smartest, grumpiest, and most blunt character in Welcome Home. Frank's the one who explains to Wally what exactly is going on, and they're the one who instructs the others on what supplies they need to get. However, in terms of emotional support, they're completely lost. I feel like it's like a 50-50 chance as to whether or not Frank takes on the role of a midwife. Yes, they are screaming internally. If the requests get any more intense than this, I'm gonna have to start charging you guys for requests. Alright, we've done the Welcome Home characters at a wedding. Now it's time to do the Welcome Home characters at a funeral. Alright, let's do this. Whose funeral are we going to? So what was the topic of our last character scenario video? Wasn't it the neighborhood party? What was I saying about Poppy not being near the grill or the bonfire? Because I was worried something like this would happen. Who's going to be the priest for this funeral? I had no idea he was ordained. But here we are. Who's the person that gives Poppy's eulogy? Frank. I mean, I don't know how much this person would have to say about Poppy, but I imagine they kept it short and sweet. Who's the person that's trying to remain stoic throughout the funeral? He is absolutely failing. He is a sobbing mess. And who is actually a sobbing mess from beginning to end? Oh, poor Frank. Who decides to share a fond memory about Poppy? Eddie. All the times you delivered Poppy's mail and sat with her and kept her company. Who's up in the choir singing Amazing Grace or Hallelujah or whatever they sing at funerals? I have no idea what this guy's singing voice is like, but I imagine everybody is bawling their eyes out. BTW, I've never been to an actual funeral. I've been to like memorial services and I've been to celebrations of life, but I've never been to like a legit funeral. And who will be driving the hearse to bring Poppy to her final resting place? Drive safe, Frank.